So apparently now ICE is raiding churches now, and that don't point to the fact that this whole thing going on is demonic. I mean, there's people not going to church anymore because they're afraid they're going to be deported at church. And churches are a sanctuary. Matter of fact, when you think of the word sanctuary, you think of a church, and that's the epitome of sanctuary. That's the epitome of a place, is a safe place for humans, certain type of humans, and it's being raided. Like these people are so demonic, man. They're so evil. And I grew up Catholic. I came from a very extremely religious family. I mean, I was steeped in this religious stuff and everything. And I never understood the power of possession or the power of demonic entities. And I really believe in demonic entities. I know what a demonic person is. I know now. I knew about it my whole life, but I ignored it because I haven't came, face to face with demonic possessed people, and now I'm seeing it in a daily on the news, on YouTube. It's just crazy and stuff, and I'm not trying to turn it into a religion, but I'm just saying it's not even about religion, it's about evil. Like these people are seriously evil people, man, and they run in the government, and that's the weird thing. And I was watching this documentary the other day, and it's pretty interesting, and it's not about race, it's about class. But so the statement I'm going to make may seem racist, but it's actually more about class. So this documentary was talking about the most angriest and meanest people in America, and it turns out that those people are rich white people, actually, and not poor white people, not all white people, not working class white people, but rich white people are the most angriest and the meanest people, and they do the most horrific crimes. With the child molesting and trafficking and all that shit is done by these rich white people. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. That's what this whole Epstein thing is about. It's about rich white people that are angry and hateful people. It's crazy. And I was thinking about why are these people so angry? Why are these people so mean? These people have everything. These people like live in the perfect neighborhood, in the perfect house, and go to the perfect college and everything, and have perfect, so-called perfect relationships. They can have whatever they want, but yet they hateful and they angry and they mean people. So why are they like that? So I came to a couple of conclusions. One of the conclusions is these people never been loved ever in their lives. Like Trump, he never been loved. He never been held. He never been spoken to like a human. He never been treated like a human. To be the way he is, and those other people in his cabinet that are that deeply evil, these people never been loved. These people never been cared for. These people never been a part of anything that made them generate self-worth, It's really insane. It's really insane if you think about it, And so that's why they hate migrants, and that's why they hate poor people, and that's why they hate transgender people. And the reason why, because they see those people as not having anything but generating love and generating kindness and being happy. And they're like, well, how can these people who don't have anything could be happy? How can these people, just be joyful when they don't have money, when they don't have power, they don't have shit? People make fun of transgender people because they trans or whatever, and trans people are the nicest people in the world, basically, and the most kindest people too. Most accepting people, but so how is that possible? So what they do is they scapegoat and they hate on those people because they just don't understand that those people generate love and acceptance, yet they don't have anything, when these people have everything and they never been loved. And so the one thing that they want the most is love, and they want people to accept them, but people don't accept them because people only see them superficially for their outward wealth and their outward power. They don't see them individually as good people, but people normally see other good people, normal people who don't have anything. If you are a good person and you're showing that you're a good person to the world, other people recognize that, and you don't have to have money, and they hate on that, and that's why they want to kick them out of the country. That's one of the reasons. Many other reasons, but that's one of the reasons. And another thing, with these rich, like white people, these hateful people that don't have love in their heart, what they hate more than poor people, more than migrants, more than Spanish people, more than Asian, more than trans? They hate white people who protect those people. and they call those people Democrats. So if you're a white person and you're Democratic or independent or non-affiliated and you are protecting people that come from marginalized community, they hate those type of white people the most because they look at those other white people as traitors. They look at them as, why are you helping marginalized people? Why are you helping trans people? When you're a white person and you have money, you should be mean. You should be just like us. You should be abusing these people, not protecting them. How dare you? And that's why Trump is always talking about Democrats, and he's always saying, these Democrats, and they hate Democrats so much because he's talking about white people, other white people who protect, who have empathy, has empathy, and who wants to protect marginalized people, and who wants to build laws to protect marginalized people, that wants to help and accept trans people and tell them it's okay to be trans. They hate those people because they see them as traitors to the white race because they're not racist and they're not mean and they're not bigots and they're not divisive and all that stuff. And so that's what it's about, man. It took me a while to figure that out, but then I would see these people, how they talk about Democrats, and I was just like, oh my God, they're talking about other white people. They're not really talking about me. They're not really talking about trans people. They're talking about other white people who have a position. They could choose to be mean, but they choose to be good, you know? And, you know, you think of people like Caroline Leavitt, who's the press secretary for Trump. Like, she is so evil, like I never seen anyone as evil as this person other than serial killers. And she's in a way a serial killer in the sense that she's a social serial killer. Yeah, she tries to kill people socially, and that's the same thing that Charlie Kirk did. I saw Charlie Kirk that way. Everyone was hopping on the fact when he died, or kissing up to him and everything, but I saw him as a serial killer. I saw him as someone that killed society socially, I don't make any excuses about that shit, but that's how I feel, man. And Caroline Leavitt, she's an evil, evil person, man. And she's more evil than Trump. For the simple fact that it was up to her, she would have Democrats killed. If she had the power to kill people, she would do it in a heartbeat. But Trump, on the other hand, Trump will only kill his enemies. If he can, he would just kill his enemies. But if Trump ran across Democratic people who help him and make money for him, he would accept those people. So he hates Democrats that don't help him. But he doesn't hate all Democrats, only the people that are against him and fight against him. Then he hates them, he wants to imprison them and kill them. But if he can make money off of them, he can control them, he accept them. That's what Trump's a businessman. He's a con man, but he's a businessman at the end of the day. And with him, his God is money and power, But Caroline Leavitt, on the other hand, she's like Hitler. Like, she's like evil, like she just wants blood and death, and she don't care what happened. All these people dying. You can see it in her eyes, and you can see how possessed she is, man, and how robotic she is. She's a beautiful, beautiful looking woman. She really is. If you look at her face, but she got all this surgery to look like a demon. And you see the way her eyes are arched up, and you see the way her lips are, and her nose, and her skin. Like, she just looks like, why did she do that? She was born beautiful. And if she truly was, she wears a cross and she says she's a Christian, then she would know that God blessed her with natural beauty, and she would just flaunt that and be like, look what God's creation is me, but she changed what God made because she hates herself. And she hates the world, so she doesn't want to show the beauty of what God created, which was her natural appearance. So she altered it to look ugly, to look demonic. And the same thing with Bondi and all those other people. They all have plastic surgery in order to look ugly because they don't want to look human anymore, because that's too much. That's too reminiscent of God who makes. And these women are not ugly, man. If you look at them, they're beautiful women, but they look ugly now because their heart is dark and their heart is evil. And so they transform themselves to these creatures, of despair. I don't know what they are, man, but it's like, I'm like, dude, you were born beautiful, you look beautiful, but why do you want to alter your look? And that's because they want to express what is inside of them, which is, it's ugly, what's inside of them, so they do it outwardly. Can these people repent? Can these people transform? Yes, I believe they can, but they won't. They won't, because they are consumed by evil, so they won't. These people will not change one bit, and it's insane to me. It's so crazy to me. I can't wrap my head around it. I don't like making video blogs about this and saying mean stuff about people, but I don't know how else to wake up people to the fact that this government is possessed, and it's evil right now. And to me, hearing these reports of them going to church, church to me is one of the most beautiful things I do in my life. Is I go to a Catholic church up the street, and to me, that's like that 1 hour every Sunday is the most beautiful part of my life. And no, is church perfect? No. No place on earth is perfect, but I mean, to me, it gets closer to anything to perfection because of the feeling I feel when I'm in church, just for that 1 hour, and to like desecrate that because of an evil person, I mean, it's just this is different level shit, man. It is different level shit, and you know what? The corporate media is complacent because they're not reporting on this. It's the independent networks are reporting on this and talking about it, but the CNN, NBA, all those fucking stupid, outlets, news outlets, they're not even talking about it. It should be front page news, man, but they're not even talking about it because they don't care. They don't care because they're part of the same group of people just running everything. They just pretend that they're liberal and they pretend to give you news and be margin and be in the middle, but they just as evil because if they wasn't, they would be talking about this. It would be front page news and they would be bringing this up, how horrible it is to go into a church and raid it when there's people praying to God, That is just amazing to me.